So we're back here on the Duncan Duo show talking about the local real estate market. Andrew Duncan with Arnie Diaz from Waterstone Mortgage, the Diaz Duo. David not with us today.
David not with us today.
He's on a vacation. He's out.
Yes.
He is.
Yes,
so
that he's out
is,
having more fun than we are.
That's correct. 4th of July weekend, so celebrating our independence and proud to be an American and we had a landmark Supreme Court case this past week that now across the country gay marriage has been legalized, and I wanted to talk to you about this because we talk about real estate topics and not really going to get into the social or political side of this, but kind of interesting how it might impact real estate in that how title is held. So from the mortgage process, a husband and wife or two lesbians that get married, going through the mortgage process, they could have done that regardless. They could have bought the property together.
Could have done that regardless.
Yeah. So nothing changes from
the
that
only
standpoint.
thing is that if, for example, if one partner has better credit than the other,
right?
Okay, and we do this, married couples too. Okay, we leave the person with the bad credit off.
But the other person gets to go on title.
They get to go. They can go on title.
Husband and wife rules.
But let's say the other person has cash for the down payment that's part of the transaction. Okay, now we need to identify the relationship at that point,
right?
To be able to because now we call it a gift, and you can't go to any old body on the street and get a gift.
Right? It has to be
right. It has to be identifiable relationship involved. So maybe if you're married, then we get your marriage certificate, and that
justifies it. Right. And it's interesting. So the title will slightly change for people. So if
right.
In a situation with two married people buying a property, how the title is done would be different than if two single people bought a property together because of how the vesting is done. So that's going to slightly change. The other thing that I think, and again, not a CPA, not a lawyer, a lot of legislation is probably going to follow this decision, but the tax rules for when you sell a homestead property. Right now, it's single person. Single person primary residence is $250,000. Married couple, $500,000.
Right.
So presumably that is one protection that now, previously wouldn't have been afforded to someone who is
a good point. I didn't
not,
even think of that.
technically legally married. So now, if someone gets, if a gay couple gets married in Florida, they'll now have the ability to, to get that provision. So I know that's something they'll have to change it, and obviously some things with. How certain documents state things, and so there are going to be some changes, but those changes aren't going to be so significant on qualifying for a mortgage or actually buying a property. It's more the perks after the fact or how things are titled that's really going to be impacted.
Yeah, I think it's something we certainly can work with, and because we've already used it in another type of scenario before, so it's just a matter of proving that you are married.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So again, interesting stuff about how things like that and how laws passed can impact real estate. It'll be funny to see how that trickles down to IRS code. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to change because So for example, someone how does it work if it'd be a great conversation for a CPA or attorney to have them on, and I know Sean Yesner, our legal attorney, comes on and talks to us, but it'll be kind of interesting. Let's say somebody goes out and when does that date start? Let's say they bought a property and then they buy it as a gay couple, and now they go to sell it, down the line. Does the Supreme Court's date start the legal? There's going to be some interesting, things that'll pop up over time that'll definitely apply to the real estate market. So